The first DLC for Dark Souls 3, Ashes of Ariandel, finally got announced, and it will be out on October 25th. The title sounds more like Elder Scrolls Online DLC to me or something like that, but I kinda like it at the same time. It's a bit different from the usual Flaming King of Chicka Chicka Ching titles we've gotten before. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, really. Anyways, I thought I would join the hype train and share my thoughts on the new trailer and also on the new screenshots that we got. In the end of the video, I could also share a little wish list of what I would want to see in the DLCs. By the way, I made a wish list like this a year ago where I listed a couple of things I would like to see in the Souls games. And that list of mine still holds up pretty well, so if you're interested about hearing some more of my thoughts, I suggest checking that video out as well. Okay, let's start talking about the DLC then. So first, I'm just gonna say this. Painted World of Ariamis. I'm pretty sure just about everyone who has played Dark Souls got instantly brought back by this moment in the trailer. There is also this girl or tiny woman featured in the trailer that wears a busker or something similar. Maybe this character is the painter that actually created the original painting. My mind started to fly a bit when I thought about this whole painting thing a bit further, so I wonder if our actions might affect in any way how the world inside the painting is going to look like or what it will contain. Do we even enter the painting this time, or do we visit the original place that the painting is based off? And if we do enter the painting, is the DLC accessed from Iritho? It would make sense to set the starting point of the DLC there because it's just after the halfway mark in the main game. I've always been a fan of snowy areas in video games, and Painted World of Ariamis was one of my all-time favorites in Souls games. So I'm definitely excited for the DLC, even if I initially hoped that it would be a brand new area without any connections to the previous games. And hey, it might still be, nothing is confirmed and all of this is just speculation at this point. People have been pointing out that this woman in the trailer is very similar looking to Welka statues in the main game. So maybe, just maybe, we get to meet Welka. That would sure be exciting since she's this very mysterious figure in Dark Souls lore we have been just hearing a lot of theories about from the community lore wizards. By the way, I would like to suggest the Ashen Hollow's excellent video I stumbled upon recently where he talks about Welka among other things. I like Ashen Hollow's different tone for making lore videos. I think about it like this. If Wati is a mystic bard sharing the lore of the land, the Ashen Hollow is like a traveling ranger doing the same thing. I highly suggest checking him out. Anyways, moving on. This next character we see is so far the only confirmed boss in the upcoming DLC. He likes to whip himself and sink his head in a bowl of nachos. Jokes aside, he looks like a pretty cool boss to fight against. I like these larger boss designs. Can't wait to fight him. Or her, I don't know. There is also a couple of shots in the trailer of this dickhead. To be honest, I have not a lot to say about the Edward Penishead himself, but I think he says something interesting in the trailer like, "The ashes have come at last." Sif, Flyman. This guy looks like a total badass. I hope we can get his armor and attacks. Wolves. Confirmed rage point in the DLC for me. I cannot stand dogs in video games, they always come in packs and just dick around. This dude is doing something. Let's have a look on new weapons and spells in the trailer. We got this sword that has this dark aura around it. Really flashing looking sword, but not my cup of tea personally. Probably looks cool on some evil character design or something. We have Miracle Frisbee / Boomerang hybrid that can hit the opponent when thrown and again when it returns to caster. Cool stuff. Now, is this a new pyromancy or did Torch get a weapon art? Frost spells. Finally, Frostbitten might become a thing. Some people seem to be a little bit confused about why there's this bit in the trailer that showcases bosses from the main game. I think it's just a little showcase meant for the people who have not purchased Dark Souls 3 yet, who happen to see the trailer, nothing more. Now, this is not shown in the trailer, but some kind of PvP arena has also been confirmed to come with the DLC. this is great news since a lot of people have been asking for the arena to be added. I can't wait to see if it's just an arena or do we perhaps have the possibility for 2v2, 3v3 matches or spectator seats, etc. I really hope this screenshot here is not the arena, or at least only arena available, because you know how things work on uneven ground in this game. It can make silly stuff happen in fights. That just about wraps up the trailer and the screenshots, so let's hop onto my little wish list for the future. I want a freaking ball and chain, preferably a ridiculously huge one, maybe similar to the one that the giant enemy in Bloodborne was swinging. I would gladly sacrifice a ring slot on my invader builds for permanent camouflage. At the moment, hidden body works fine, but it lasts so short time that recasting it gets a little bit tedious. No, I do not want them to be able to parry. I've always loved flintlock styled weapons, and it seemed like a dream come true to me when Bloodborne finally had those in a Souls-like setting. However, the way how fast you could spam those parrying tools of death from afar quickly made them taste like shit, at least in PvP environment. My love for the old flintlock pistols and muskets hasn't disappeared though, and I would like to have those in Souls universe working similarly to crossbows. Maybe the damage could be slightly higher than crossbows, but the reload time would be extremely long. Maybe they could introduce some distant land in the DLC that have discovered some early forms of technology from where those weapons could be from. I loved this set, especially the Elite Cleric one that is, by the way, the armor the Petrus wears in Dark Souls. Even if the Elite version of the old Cleric set was only obtainable by unorthodox means in Dark Souls, it still remains as one of my favorite sets in Souls series. And since we've seen a ton of other armors get a comeback, this one should be the next one on the list. I'm pretty sure they are not going to put a lot of emphasis on the Covenant in the DLC, but I would still like to see Covenants matter more, because it's such a cool concept that can only be fleshed out at this point really. I myself have been always dreaming about something like a Thief Covenant, which would spawn a thief into a host's world that has dropped enough souls in the ground but has not retrieved them yet. The objective of the Thief Covenant member would be to run to the bloodstain faster than the host to pick up the souls before the host does, and thieves could keep the souls they can gather. This would also be a great way to farm souls. Maybe thieves could be sort of like a neutral covenant like Mad Phantoms are, so it would be a bit harder for them to reach the bloodstain. Even seeing Gravelord Covenant make a return would be awesome. There's a slight chance we get some Covenant additions since Bloodborne DLC also gave us one new one, so you never know. I've talked about this several times before, but how freaking cool would Summon in School of Magic be? You could summon some weaker mobs from the game to fight by your side, up to some limited amount of course, or summon some bigger mob instead of several little ones. This could also be balanced so that every time you summon a mob, part of your HP bar would be cut away. So more summons would be more help for you, but would make the players themselves weaker. There could also be necromancy spells that let you use the corpses of the enemies you have slain for a limited period of time. This would of course require it to be an enemy that leaves a ragdoll behind after death. So, those were a couple of things I could say from the top of my head, and more can be found on the list I made a year ago. Let me know what you think about the trailer and what you would like to see in the DLC in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.